About 5 months ago I started this channel. Now there's 500 of you. I find that incredible. I never expected the response you've all been giving me so far, and I am deeply grateful. And you know I'm grateful because I've done 2 videos already saying thank you to you. So I suspect they're probably getting a bit repetitive if I keep saying thank you at every milestone. Although I wouldn't get bored saying it, I think you might get bored hearing it. So in an effort to keep this concise, I'm going to just crack on with the other thing I've been setting to do out every milestone we hit, which is release a poem. I'll share a poem with you, then talk a little bit about the poem, and then probably end with another quick thank you because I can't help myself. But the poem is called Blindness. You cannot bear the disrespect. It pains you. Your armour teaches the skin it is vulnerable without. Those who insult cry, I am blind, I see only ugliness. They stumble in the dark, thinking all of life is to stumble in the dark. They stumble into you, then what? Which way you going? I will help you balance. So this is a poem I wrote from the same collection that the last poem, Trusting, came from. In part, I probably shouldn't be sharing poems from that collection because I actually want to get that collection published sometime, once I get rounds to trying. Anyway, it's a poem about disrespect and being insulted and all that sort of stuff. We've all had to endure at some point along our lives. If you're on Twitter, you probably continue to endure it on a daily basis. But we all know what it feels like to be insulted. We were all once little kids who got very upset when we were called names. I've got a birthmark on the back of my neck, a particularly big birthmark, for which I was always called Mouldy. And when Austin Powers became a thing, that didn't help either. Nowadays, I'm not an easy person to insult. Not many counsellors are, because they often work with aggressive clients who will enjoy nothing more than finding ways to insult you. And I guess the thing is, insults are pretty stupid, really, when you have perspective. Hence the second stanza here. Those who insult cry, I am blind, I see only ugliness. All you have to do is ask the question, why does this person feel the need to insult me? Why are they actively trying to upset me? And asking that question, you can suddenly see the vulnerability in this person, the pain they're often trying to mask by inflicting pain upon you. Not always, but it's not just because of that. Sometimes it's the fact this person... Just imagine being stuck in a worldview where you see the worst in everybody. I would hate that. Seeing nothing but the ugliness. You'd probably forget beauty was even a thing, Not seeing beauty, your life would be forever like stumbling in the dark, thinking the darkness was all life ever is. And for that, those who go about insulting others are blind. Not physically blind, but an emotional kind of blindness. And if they fail to see your beauty, because everybody has beauty, when anyone opens their heart and says something sincere, it touches you, doesn't it? It doesn't matter who they are. If they did that, you'd be touched, because that's their beauty. And those with eyes go about seeing that natural human beauty in everybody, and everyone becomes interesting, someone to learn from, someone that, for all their faults they might have, you can respect and admire and care for them, because there is something worth respecting and admiring, if only you have the sight to see it. So in that sense, if someone fails to see your beauty, that's their loss, because it means the world appears a little more ugly to them than it needs to. But I don't say all this maliciously, because the question, why does this person feel the need to insult me? That could lead to you becoming very condescending and going, oh, I feel so sorry for how terrible your life must be if you feel the need to insult everyone. And suddenly you're now attacking their weakness, which is no better than what they were doing. And you get a lot of people who kind of use, who do that with psychoanalysis. They learn a vague bit of it and then start using it as a fancy weapon to attack everybody who insults them, which is wrong and inaccurate anyway. You see other people's pain only to empathise, not to use it against them. It should soften you, hence the final 3 lines. Because I've called it an emotional blindness. If someone physically blind was stumbling about and fell into you, you wouldn't get angry and start attacking them back, would you? You'd help them balance. So the same should ring true with emotional blindness. You're not trying to change their worldview. In the same way, you're not trying to somehow give a blind person vision, because you can't, but you're just offering them your own small, ordinary bit of kindness where it's needed, helping them balance for that moment. And the first stanza, which I've ended up talking about last somehow, really that's an idea that could be applied to a lot of things. Your armour teaches the skin is vulnerable without. The sense of becoming so dependent on your defences, or lucky charms, or addictions, other people, whatever it is, so dependent that you start to feel helpless without them. And that's a shame, because you never are so helpless without them as you think. The ordinary body isn't helpless without armour, is it? If it was, evolution would have done something to defend us better. So unless you're going to war or doing dangerous work or that sort of stuff, there is no need to wear armour, really. So sometimes we do things to help us cope better, but then we can become so dependent on that thing that we struggle whenever we're without it. But to link it back to talking specifically about insults, we're meant to be able to bear insults just fine, I think. We're meant to learn that our ordinary bodies can cope with another person's disrespect. We don't need armour to withstand it. There are a lot of people out there who are emotionally blind, and it is a shame. And Twitter could probably convince you that everybody's emotionally blind, which is why it's often important to have face-to-face interaction with people, because that reminds you they're not. I think you find a lot more faith for humanity when you get to look humanity in the face rather than just observing the posts it leaves behind on the internet. But thank you for being here, though. I honestly did not expect to wake up to 500 subscribers this morning. It's 7:30 when I'm recording this. I woke up 15 minutes ago and I thought I needed to make this video pretty quickly. You've balled me away with all your support. And I guess if we're talking about insults and faith in humanity and all that, you've all been proof that the internet is a nice place, really. That it's a space you can connect with human beings over, rather than just shrinking down into petty arguments all the time. You're all good people. Not because you clicked subscribe on my channel, obviously, but in the comments and things as well. You know, a lot of you have actively chosen to show support to a stranger you've never actually met. That's a kind thing to do, supporting a stranger in any capacity. And I haven't really been able to give you anything in return, so you're showing kindness and support to a stranger without any expectation of reward. Doing that makes you good people as far as I'm concerned. You've blessed me. Thank you for being here. I'm going to continue to try to do weekly videos, which I have managed up till now without fail, by the way. Only some of them keep getting taken down, so it doesn't look like consistently one a week anymore, but I have. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to hope you'll stick around for the next milestone, however long that takes, I don't know. This one came a lot quicker than I thought, so I don't know what to expect anymore. But yeah, just thank you again. Thank you, and hopefully see you next time.